a 17.5 kilo weight onto my finger.
And I said, but that's really serious. And you said, well, you know, pain is a construct and it's made in the brain, blah, blah, blah. Like, this bitch is crazy.
Friends that give birth without pain relief. I'm having some stitches in my finger. Come on.
All right, everybody. Hello. We're just doing a chill chat, Anita and I. My name's Candice. I am a holistic wellbeing specialist. I focus on joy and creating safe spaces. And Anita, she can tell you about herself.
Human behaviour expert, helping people with their mind and body, understanding what goes on in there as we talk to ourselves all day and understanding why we do it and how we do it and how it transfers into the body, etc., etc. So.
Yeah, that was a really good explanation. I could have given a better explanation of what I do, but clearly I didn't. Today is just like a really chill chat, hence I'm going to be in my bed just relaxing. To just check in, like how we're feeling, what's going on. Not every interaction is a serious one for us. We have like chats behind the scenes, which is always really fun. So yeah, just bringing the humanness, the beingness to this. How are you feeling?
I've had a bit of a week. I'm on about day 10 of a finger injury where I dropped a 17.5 kilo weight onto my finger, or I got it wedged under, because it sounds a bit dramatic dropping. I was putting it back and it just, got caught, let's say. So it's been,
How is it feeling? What are they saying?
So what they're saying is that it's heavily traumatized. There's no breakage, apparently, at the moment.
Your finger's traumatized. I would have said join the rest of my body.
It got the stitches at first, then on the next visit, the nail got removed. So it's had double trauma. So in this moment, it's probably the first day where I'm not feeling as much pain. Day 10.
Yeah. I mean, you said something the other day about that's been going around in my head, like annoyingly. And I even just said it earlier today, and it was about pain. And it's funny because I know this. When I asked you about the pain and I said you had any painkillers, you said to me, no, I haven't really taken any painkillers yet. And I said, what? You definitely need some. And you said, well, maybe I'll try and take some Panadol. I don't know. And I said, but that's really serious. And you said, well, you know, pain is a construct and it's made in the brain, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this bitch is crazy. That was actually going on in my head.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me about that? Because I don't know, it's been on my mind. I'll tell you why.
So I can kind of, you know, as I tell the story of what happened in theory, this is how I was testing this whole theory, right? So the weight drops, there's blood pouring from me, and I'm literally there for an hour waiting for the doctor to arrive at the gym, because I got them to come to me rather than going to them. And I'm literally there, and this is such a good indicator, right? Should there be pain or shouldn't there be? But in that moment, there is adrenaline. So for that, mostly for that hour, there was no pain experience. There was simply the adrenaline in the body. So there was no pain, which can be very common in the initial, you know, part of an accident. So anyway, so as the hour's progressing, you know, it's getting on a bit now. Now I'm starting to look at myself in the mirror going, oh, am I looking a bit pale there? And now the meaning making is starting, right? And so then the doctor arrives and they are basically saying that I need stitches. So then they're going, they want to give me a tetanus jab, they want to give me local anaesthetic, and I said no to everything. I said, stitch me up with nothing. And they looked at me like I'm a crazy woman. But I'm sitting there, I'm going, you women have given birth. So what am I'm going to have some stitches in my finger. Like, people give birth without pain relief. I have friends that give birth without pain relief. I'm having some stitches in my finger. Come on.
Jeez.
So I'm there and I'm like...
From what I hear, the stitches in your perineum are a lot more painful.
I bet, exactly. That's what I mean. So my friends that have had babies are going, oh, and I'm going, girl, you've had a child. I'm sitting there going, if my friends can do this, then, you know, what's a couple of stitches?
You were okay when they were stitching you up? Were you meditating? You breathe? I tend to breathe through pain, yes.
and we probably do without realizing it, but obviously I'm trained so much in this stuff that I'm like, let's put this into practice now. What do I know about pain? Pain exists in the mind. If I'm not in my mind being upset about the pain and I'm in my body, I'm breathing, then how painful is this going to be? And so I breathed hard.
Yeah, look, I hear you. I hear you, but the other part of me is just like, nah. Pain isn't mine. I get it. It's created. I mean, but we have the trauma response for a reason. I get it. We can
We
cope
do.
through it. We don't need the
Yeah.
painkillers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So this is where I'll continue with this experiment of mine over this, which will kind of answer maybe some of what you're saying there. So basically, so I had the stitches and people were like, how many did you have? And I was like, well, they didn't tell me, but I'm going to guess 3 because that's what I felt going in 3 times, right? And in the end, the note said that there were 3. And then the doctor's looking at me and they're going, I've never had anyone say no to an anesthetic. Do you do yoga? I was there someone, and I was like, yes, I do yoga. We were all having a bit of a laugh about it. Anyway, so I'm in pain for 2 days. I know the bandage is being changed for 2 days. I'm in pain. So I'm contemplating the Panadol. I haven't taken Panadol for years. I've not taken paracetamol. I've not taken anything for years. But I'm literally at the point of going, that stuff normally doesn't work for me. Placebo, right? Number one. So is it going to work? So I go and I get the Panadol on day 2 or whatever it is. I take it and I'm literally in the chemist going, I don't know anything about this stuff. What is it? What do I take? And they were like, I'll take this one with caffeine in. I don't drink coffee, right? So I'm like, okay, let's give this a... I hate coffee. I hate that feeling of all that, you know, anxiety that I used to relate to anxiety, right? So anyway, so I take this thing and I'm like, I'm still in pain because I'm still thinking. So this is the difference. Whilst we're thinking pain. So as I'm in this process, I'm not having a placebo effect of this pill because I'm overriding it with my thoughts. So I'm not believing the pill's not going to work. So for me, the pill isn't working. I'm not saying that this is for everyone, but this is my experiment, you know, and I'm not recommending anyone, you know, do this or don't do this, but this is my, you know, my experience. And anyway, that evening, I went to a meditation chanting evening. For an hour and a half, there was no pain. Not because I took the Panadol, because that was the day before or much earlier in the day, but because I was present in that experience. Yeah. So the pain wasn't there whilst I wasn't thinking about the pain.
Yeah, I mean, I get that because I've taught through some pretty painful things and taught multiple classes and didn't feel anything. And then as soon as the class finished, was like, so when you finished the session, your meditation session, the pain was not there, or was there?
It was less there because I was very aware of the whole process, right? So I'm checking in whilst I'm doing this meditation thing, and I'm like, am I feeling it? No, I'm not feeling it as much now because I'm distracting myself. I'm distracting the mind and being present. So it was still, you know, afterwards it was more there than it wasn't there because I was again thinking.
Yeah.
And so this is the interesting part, right? So the next time then I go for a checkup, a bandage change, they tell me that it's healing really well. So I then leave that appointment with no pain because I've been now told that I'm healing. And in my assumption of all of this, the pain is there to protect us. Thinking about the pain protects us. If you're telling me that I'm healing okay, I don't need to feel the pain. I can just get on with my days now because there's nothing to protect myself from. So now I can focus elsewhere. The pain wasn't there after that.
Interesting. And, you know, look, yoga and meditation taught me how to be pain resistant. As I've had a couple injuries, I have dropped off the physical practice and been doing a lot more yin and gentle practice, which has its space. But then I also wonder if it's still holding that pain there.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Me not moving intentionally and mindfully through it with my physical yoga practice. Am I holding the pain there in this bubble going, I need to go gentle because I've got this injury or I've got this thing? You know, and it's true. When I'm meditating, I don't feel any pain. I've got like inflammation in my body, and being on medical weight loss has helped, but I have dropped down my dose recently and I'm feeling not having that. But also I feel like I'm just sore. Like even like my flesh, just a touch, like where I'm wearing clothes, like the pressure of it feels painful. And I'm like, whoa, is this perimenopause? Is this what people talk about? I don't know. I feel like I'm buying into a lot. And look, my family does have a history of inflammation issues and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in saying that, I have healed myself from so many things that are crazy. And now I'm feeling this way. There's a part of me that's like, oh, well, because of this whole, you know, the mind is where everything's created. I'm doing the blame. I'm saying, well, you're doing this. You're creating the pain. And that's just as bad as having the pain.
Exactly. That is the pain.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because if we hear it, it's our self-talk. So it's our self-talk telling us we're in pain, and it's the self-talk judging us. So it's the self-talk.
When you were in pain, you didn't, I mean, how did you in your brain shift the pain away?
My way is breath.
So we're coming, this is the breath. I mean,
so the minute I'm feeling it, it's like, just breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, another thing is, and I'll say this as well, is the amount of times I wake myself up in the night to protect myself, because one minute I'm waking myself because I'm laying on it. That's traumatizing it again. Oof. I'm waking myself up because, okay, so this is a big thing, is the infection was the biggest thing. So the next time I went, after this, I was told I was healing. The next time I went, now I've got an infection. So now it comes to, because I've been a bit more carefree, because I haven't been feeling the pain, I'm not protecting it as much. So I'm now more susceptible to infection. So I don't know whether this is 100% true, but in theory, I was like, maybe I've just been more carefree with it, and now it's infected. So then I was in pain again, because I was then back to protecting myself. I need to be waking myself up at night to make sure it's not on my, I'm not lying on it.
When the infection happened, see, I can see my own self-talk. I go to, well, freaking hell, Candice, you didn't protect yourself from infection. That was my first thought. Well, Anita, why didn't you use your mind to protect yourself? And I know this stuff works because it's happened for me so much. Yeah. But I'm still, there's a judging right there. I'm like, well, why did the infection come? Why did it come?
Yeah. And this is the bit, and then I go to, well, the doctor said come back in 2 or 3 days. And every time I went, no, 2 days. Because he said it was healing well, I was like, well, I'll go back in 3 days this time. So then the minute it said it was infected, I went, oh yeah, I should have gone back yesterday. But there's no guarantee that had I gone back yesterday that it wouldn't have not been infected, or, it's all meaning. Yeah. So again, it's seeing that judgment arise and go, judgment in mind is going to cause body to be out of whack and to be running worst case scenario, to be running judgment, which is going to make the body more tense, the heart, palpitations coming, which is going to keep the infection and the trauma healing at a slower pace. So as soon as that stuff arises, it's like, Anita, be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Judging it is going to make your system more inflamed, whatever we want to say, and it's going to keep the infection in place. Be nice to yourself.
I know what you're saying. It's what I teach. It's what I do. It's what I embody for how many years, and still going through this chronic inflammation that keeps coming and going. It's like I innately know that I am deeply out of alignment somewhere. And I can feel it in every cell in my body that's reacting.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh God, are we really, is this another upgrade? Is this another alignment? And I have to go through physically, but this is what happens when I'm not listening, when I'm not present, when I'm not doing it. My body just speaks to me.
Yeah, it speaks to us because it hasn't been able to hear the mind. So the body is screaming louder now. It's like the mind wasn't enough to catch it. So now the body is giving it a double dose of, hear me, listen to me.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. It's screaming now. You're missing what we were saying here, so now it's really showing us something through here.
And it's just, it feels like you learn this over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The practice is never over. Like I'm not gonna lie. Do I get frustrated and annoyed? Yes. Am I frustrated and annoyed now? Yes.
Yeah. And there's inflammation, right? It's like what's inflammation? And when you say what's out of alignment is this with this, because now we're in separation.
Oh,
So that's the unalignment. The minute we can get out of here, we're doing it all the time in moments of the day. But what we need to do more of is extend those moments into, longer moments so that the inflammation goes down, right?
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And look, I probably, I've been working hard at a new career.
Yes.
And even though I'm so lucky, but because it's a new career and a new space, I invest a lot of hours, more hours than when I was teaching, to be honest, in this, in the learning, in the content, in the producing, in the modeling, castings. There's a lot of background stuff happens just to get one casting, and one job. Like there's so many, and it's a lot of hours. I'm loving it. I'm passionate about it, but I'm definitely putting in a lot of hours. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we can still love something that exhausts us.
Yeah.
We can, a lot of the time with stuff that we really like excites us, which again isn't the best for our systems, right?
Exactly.
We can enjoy it, but it doesn't mean, and it's not to take away from it, but we can enjoy it, but it doesn't mean that it's doing our bodies the best. I mean, if we could just sit around and do nothing, we wouldn't want to do that because we'd be bored and we'd be in our minds. But ultimately, that's the healthiest version of
honestly,
us.
and this is why I was the healthiest version of myself during lockdown. I trained for hours a day, beach, swam, slept, did it all again on repeat. And what's happening is the pressure I'm putting on myself. It's not that I have deadlines or, there's a sense of urgency, and it's not like, I don't need to worry about income. I'm very lucky that I'm getting very good opportunities without even trying.
Yeah.
Obviously there's some back end stuff, but I'm putting the pressure on myself. I'm putting my pressure on myself that I have to. And this morning I went to the gym and I just went to the beach, and it was so nice. And I realized that I wasn't rushing though. So even when I go for my morning walk or do anything, I'm rushing, I'm on a schedule.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I have to get back there and do this, and I come home and I'm going to film this and I'm going to submit that. I got to submit all the stuff, and I got to make sure I put in for that job, that audition, because I would need to get that. So I have this mindset, even though I don't live in lack, I have this mindset that I need to prepare for the next 6 months, 1 year ahead. And that's just self-employed life.
But is it though? What is that? Because it's not for everyone, right? I mean, I certainly don't live that. I've got no idea what's going on next week, Claire. And that's the way I've been for many years, and it's kind of worked, right? But there's something.
I'm good with it. I'm good with uncertainty.
Yeah.
I'm definitely good. For some reason, I'm like, oh well, I need to make sure I'm still earning at that level, and I have all these goals and da-da-da. But I'm like, why am I putting the stress on myself? Things are happening regardless.
So why are you putting the stress on yourself?
I don't know. Like I'm getting emails every day for collaborations, for work, and it's amazing, and it's so deserving, and I feel worthy, but I'm still putting pressure on myself. Like I should be spending the first 4 hours of my day training and beaching.
Why aren't you? So I hear all of the stuff. It's like saying I'm a billionaire, but I've still got anxiety around money, which happens. So it's the same as you. It's like, so what's it really about? If it's not about the office because they're coming in, what is it really about?
I think it's about feeling like I might lose everything.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And I even had this when I was teaching yoga, and I was teaching a lot of classes and doing really well and running workshops and retreats, always feeling like, oh, what if it goes away? Which is crazy, because the evidence will teach you that none of it's gone away.
It's crazy until you know But it's only crazy until we understand where it's come from, and then it's no longer crazy. So it's like, where did you learn to think that you were going to lose it all?
Well, I think it's because I have lost it all in the past.
There it is.
Do you know what I mean? I lost my house. I lost everything.
Yeah.
I was in a toxic relationship. I lost a lot of money. I have lost it all. I've had to start again. And even though I thought that was healed, it's still showing up that, I gotta make sure and work hard. And I was like, I don't want to work hard. Guys, that's not my brand.
But this is what's happening, is that it's like this mismatch. It's like you're telling yourself one thing, but it goes from positive, uber positive, to the negative with the big but in between.
And it's funny because years ago, somebody told me I was a mismatcher. I was like, no, I'm not.
Internal mismatcher. I mean, you saying no, I'm not in itself is a mismatch, right? It's just the proof of it. If you were a matcher people pleaser, you'd have gone, yes, I am a mismatcher.
What they said. It was someone from the coaching room.
I can guess. It sounds like Jake.
Yeah. Anyway, so wow.
Internally mismatching yourself. And that's what we do, right? When we've got to convince ourselves of the positive, the negative's probably sitting there. So that's when we're like, where do we, how do we come more into balance with this?
And it is seeing it. Like, I wasn't saying, like, even though this has been ruminating, I mean, I wasn't saying it out loud. And this is why, get into coaching, everybody. This is why coaching is so effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think with, I have a counselor and stuff. With counseling, it's great, but it's different way of getting to your issues or patterns or beliefs. It's very unpacking the storyline, whereas coaching, it's like, let's unpack the semantics. What's behind that? What's behind that? Which is what you just did right then.
Yeah. All in the language. Yeah. All in the language. Yeah.
And which we unpacked, which is what I'm still holding that trauma from. Like, I'm going to mess up. I'm going to lose everything.
Yeah. And there's the work to be done on that. There's a positive intention where it's serving you right now to be holding on to, the pain of that. It's serving you to do that, to protect you in whatever way.
I think it's just holding on to punishing myself.
Okay.
It's a form of punishment because it doesn't do anything. I'll still be me. I'll still work on my passions, but I'll give myself more time for rest and looking after myself, and not jumping on, my laptop and my phone, because I would never do that before. Before, I would always be outside meditating before I did that. Now I'm like, I'm on the phone, laptop, and then I'll go for a walk, and then do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I need to stop referencing the past. Like, what is with that?
But hear the judgment. This is the program, the biggest one to be working on. Because that's not where the healing is, right? The inflammation, dissipates with the dissipation of the judgment, because it's so there, right? It's constantly there.
Hurt your finger. Did you judge yourself?
I didn't judge myself harshly, but I definitely looked at how I was feeling for the 20 minutes I was in the gym before that. I felt weak. And I said to myself, go home. And I didn't go home. And I was like, just one more little thing I'll do. One more, just a light, 17.5 kilos, just a little light of that. No, but only on, there's a hip thrust, so it's nothing compared to like a barbell, right? But even in picking it up, I was like, this 17.5 kilos, which would maybe be a 20 kilo normally, felt heavy. So I didn't listen to myself, to the voice in my head as the body felt weak. I went against that, and I let myself pick that weight up. So there was definitely a thing, because what happens for me is whenever anything goes wrong, say I spill something or, something happens, that second, so say I spill some water, The second I spill the water, it goes, oh, but then I will always bring the positive in and go, oh, look, it's spilt. So at least I can clean this floor whilst I'm here. So there was a positive intention in me spilling it. And I really struggled to find the positive intention as the moment was happening. Normally, I would just bypass it straight away and I go, right, what am I learning from this? Which the learning has come in the week. That's why I pay such close attention, because I'm like, what can I learn from this? Look at all this stuff that I've been able to share today as a result of this. That could help someone, you know? So there's always that meaning that's brought in, but I will always try to negate the negative, bring in the positive so that the judgment doesn't set in.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And I get that, you know, because I'm always very like, if someone makes a mistake with me, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what, that happened, da da da. And generally I can do that with myself. But because I've been loading up the pressure and the judgment and the little bit of some sort of anxiety, the capacity to be kind to myself in moments has not been there, clearly.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm going to definitely take more time because like none of it matters. None of it's real.
So let's, even looking at it, it's like looking at it and going, to be compassionate to yourself over being judgmental to yourself.
Yeah.
What might that mean?
Well, I think for me that is just like, that's just me trying to protect myself and care for myself and, you know, and look out for myself, because I really just always feel like it's me looking out for me.
So you judge yourself to look out for yourself.
Yes. So it never ends.
No, but it's good to see that, right? Because it's going, okay, I'm doing it from a compassionate place.
I am doing it from a compassionate place, you know?
I can see that,
definitely. But and I know when I have these spaces that the other side is such a beautiful awakening. I have when I'm in deep discomfort, I know that as we work through this, as we're talking about it, as I sit, as I meditate, the other side is like, it's lovely. It's like, oh, it's a layer. Like you were saying earlier, it's an upgrade, right? That there's just something there that's just like, oof, damn, this feels uncomfortable. But I know what this discomfort leads to. It leads to this beautiful place.
So that could be exactly what to access the next time you hear yourself in judgment. Oh, there's the judgment. Instead of going, as you do, and frustrating yourself, go, oh, there's the judgment that is compassionate in some ways. And then start to change that conversation. You're judging yourself to be compassionate to yourself. So see that. And as you say, that's when the lightness can come in. That's when the upgrades happen, because we're no longer in that, we're in the, oh, there it is. There's my way of being compassionate, protecting myself.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a space I don't need to, but I will choose to step into. So even in my languaging, it's all there. It's all there.
And even correcting yourself there shows the potential to correct yourself the next time the frustration sets in. We catch it quicker, and it's like, okay, I know what's happening here.
Yeah. And you'll see it, like once the shift happens, it becomes so visible. It really presents itself. Yeah. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. So
and it's I had a client yesterday frustrating themselves with, why am I still feeling this anxiety? You know, what's happening? And we sat there and we talked through the story of the finger, and it was like, you will keep running those worst case scenario programs, those heart palpitations, all that stuff going in the body to protect yourself. So again, rather than judging it when it's arising, again, have that conversation. There it is. There's that anxiety running that I'm running right now in order to protect myself. Like when I needed the pain to protect the finger. And once we can like relax into, we're choosing it to protect ourselves, then it will shift through quicker. It will start to pass a lot quicker. you know. And it's like there's a story, I think I may, you know, get this wrong, but as far as I remember, it was something like Gandhi, he didn't feel the pain anymore. He was so present to the point where at some point there were rats eating away at his, you know, his feet or whatever it was, because he didn't feel the pain anymore. He was so present. So why as humans do we access the pain and the anxiety and the judgment so that the rats don't eat our feet? So that we feel it to protect ourselves.
But what is it like? So with the presence, like, I'm always mindful because I can tend to disassociate.
Okay.
So if someone's listening, tell them what the difference between disassociation and presence is.
So they can be one and the same thing. And I know this sounds messed up and people don't like to hear this because I've been, you know, a lot of people have argued this for me before. Yeah. But even when someone is having a disassociated experience, which can be deemed an unhealthy thing, they are protecting themselves in that moment to get out of whatever pain they're in their mind and their body. And they will do that. You know, the amount of people have gone, oh, I blacked out or I disassociated or I had an epileptic fit. I've even worked with clients through things like this. That's a disassociation from your ego that is fucking you right there. So the key difference in theory is you're still potentially present in your disassociated state, but because it's been accessed in a more unhealthy, get away from me way, the state you're in is still the state of disassociation. But you're just choosing, say, meditation in that moment. It's the choice that you're making, whether to do it. The intention might be more, get me out of here, versus I'm going to use a presencing exercise to get me there. So it's the choice we make.
That presence allows me for a deep sense of connection to myself.
Yeah.
Or to source energy, or to what I'm working through or working on. It doesn't mean that it's full and busy and full of chatter. Yeah. It can be a feeling. It's not an empty space. Whereas I feel like disassociation is an empty space.
And this is okay. So this is the key difference. You are not meditating enough to disassociate. So the absolute deep, like your deepest sleep state is not you going, I'm disassociating, but we are.
Yeah.
You could be awake at your deepest sleep state. If you meditate enough, you will lose yourself. And you probably do, but you don't know that you have. So in theory, the state that we're in that disassociation, whether it's through meditation or it's through, you know, the unhealthy disassociation, the state you're potentially in those moments, if you were measured, could be the same state. And in theory, should be the same state. Because it's a state of no longer being associated with the ego, which is meditation at its highest form, let's say.
Yeah, yeah.
We think meditation is all about feeling. Get past the feeling and you get back to the prior. It's the prior state of us. It's not reaching meditation. It's going back into before the ego comes online, not after.
Yeah. So if I go into what deep meditation feels like for me, opposed to disassociation, if I'm deeply in meditation, I can feel like I step outside myself. You know, I can feel like I can step outside and look at myself. Yeah. And especially if I'm doing that before bed, which is what I like to do, and then I can travel. Then I go traveling. But it's weird because I'm still having a feeling, even though I'm outside of myself, the feeling's just not related to the body. Do you know what I mean? The feeling is peaceful. The feeling is, I'm light. But it's not related to the body. So
no. So there's and it's called, you know, we talk about a void space. It's not a bad thing, but there is a space of void that will be happening at some point during that process.
Interesting.
And I think, and I don't, you know, I can't say for definite, but from when I hear people having like these you know, coming back into their body, you know, after dying, let's say, and they come back in, I always wonder with this whether there is a point where we get to, and I can't say this is for definite, but where we do in that dying state for the first, they say 90 minutes or whatever, there is more of a sense of all of that. But do we then enter a void after that where we don't feel the ego? Because there is no ego, there's no, there is none of that anymore. So is the void simply, the energy of us? If we're pure energy, there's no one to feel or sense anything anymore.
But when people die, they say they feel a oneness.
Yeah, they don't get into the void space. They're only going to tell you about the part that isn't the void, because we can't talk about the void.
Because they haven't gone through it.
Yeah. They come back into their body before the void, or a remembering of the void is possible. It's kind of a thing that comes prior to everything. So we came into this world as a prior state, and everything arises from a prior something.
Yeah.
It's got to be something before,
Yeah. I just wonder if the void is a nothingness. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's a nothingness, as in there's no one there to feel it. It doesn't mean that there's nothing.
Yes.
If we were able to be objective to it,
the self isn't there to feel it. Yes.
Yeah. It's a void for the personality, for the ego, for the it's a nothing for that, because we can't possibly experience what we can't experience. That's why we're human. That's why we've come into this this physical.
Did you ever watch the movie Flatliners?
Nah.
Oh, come on, Anita.
Okay, I'll watch it. I'll give it a go.
Okay. Flatliners is it's an old 80s show. I think they
I've heard
remade
of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
These medical students take people and they kill them and bring them back to life.
I love that.
So that they could learn about the afterlife.
Love that.
And then people get trapped and la la la. But it's a very interesting movie. There's also
I think these sorts of things sound more appealing than they would have done to me years ago, right? So now I'm like, I probably wouldn't have cared about that stuff. I would have gone, it's a bit sci-fi and a bit whereas now it'd be like, yeah, let me watch that movie 40 years later. Whatever
I watched that when I was quite young, and then I watched it when I was older, and I watched it a few times, and it is quite profound. Another amazing show about this is actually called OA, and it's the same. I mean, it's terrible. It's a terrible thing, but someone kidnaps people, a doctor, to kill them, to bring them back to life, just to learn about the afterlife. Very profound. And discussing all these topics about the nothingness and the, what's there and what are we meeting. But yeah, really, really, obviously we know this is our favorite topic.
Favorite. Going to watch the movies.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with that. This is my bedtime. What I sleep to every night is near-death experience.
I love it. Well, you're right in it, aren't you? You have some crazy stuff happening.
I do, and it's weird.
Cool.
My dreams are just, and the more complex and intricate my dreams get in detail, the more I'm like, oh man, I got some shit to sort out.
No, but do you know what? Do you know the way that I see it, Candice? It's like a lot of people that get diagnoses like ADHD, autism, and all the rest of it. These are the people that are getting, you're getting all of this stuff. So I'm like, let's not worry about these labels about what's happening in the day to day. Let's go into all this stuff that you're able to access. That is. It's not fucked up at all. It's
definitely. I mean, it's crazy because I was saying to my partner the other day, I can't remember the dream now, but when I was talking about, I was like, I wasn't myself last night. I was this guy and I was a cowboy and it was another time. And he's just like, what? I'm like, I didn't dream I was me the other night. Like, it's so regular for me to not. I mean, imagine you've been dreaming like this your whole life and never knowing that other people didn't dream like this.
There's so many people I know now with all of this. It's like, let's get everyone together and have a good old. I would love this.
Can we please?
I've had a few people inbox me saying, does anyone else experience this? Can I? Yeah. And I said, can we get a few people together? She's like, yeah, should we do something?
Yeah, that's a great, because I mean, it's very hard because I don't know anyone. I mean, besides My sister Nari, who's an artist and intuitive, she dreams she's other people all the time. You know, she's out there. She out there.
The fours, it's the type fours. I'm hearing it, right? And do you know what I hear a lot of? People disclose this stuff to me and say, I've never told anyone this before, or I'm embarrassed to tell anyone. So they're out there, but they just, people think that they're crazy, so they don't share as much as.
You imagine like you telling someone, yeah, I dreamt I was a man last night. They think you're going to have a gender identity crisis. No, I'm not having a gender identity crisis. In my dream, I'm living a completely different life. I'm a completely different person.
Just not in my other realm that you haven't got access to recognizing in this one, right? But I do. I've just got the superpower of ADHD or autism or whatever we want to call it.
I need to start documenting my dreams. I think that is what's going to happen from now on. And
got to do it.
Keep me accountable, because you keep me accountable. You keep me accountable for these recordings. You keep me accountable.
We're doing it. And you know what's going to keep you accountable is that we're going to do a whole episode on it. You're going to bring your dreams, and we're going to talk about this.
Okay.
And I might find a third party as well with similar stuff.
Yeah, dreams. Let's do it. Dreams.
Yeah, love it.
Amazing chat as always.
I love our 2 ways as much as our 3 ways.
Oh my God, I know, right? We go on a tangent.
We do.
We go crazy. Just reminding you that I'm going to stop recording in a sec, but we got to keep the computer on because blah, blah, blah.
I'm only on 68% upload, so I